On Tuesday, July 25th, the 13th Cambodian International Film Festival hosted a gala event attended by actors, directors and writers from both the Cambodian and international film industries, as well as dignitaries and government officials. The highlight of the event was the release of the documentary Elvis of Cambodia, which explores the life of iconic Sin Sissamot. EAC News had the privilege of interviewing Chris Parker, the director of Elvis of Cambodia.
Ms. Chris Parkhurst, I'm the director of Elvis of Cambodia, The Legacy of Sin Sissamot. I'm very honored to be here this evening for the opening of Cambodia International Film Festival here at the historic Chatamuk Theatre. Honest, to be able to release that here at the Chatamuk Theatre is a very special thing to myself and so many of the crew of Elvis of Cambodia. The very little footage that we have, archival footage of Sin Sissamot, is him singing and performing here. So, you know, the greatest Cambodian musicians and artists, they performed here. So to be able to have our Cambodian premiere here at Chatamuk Theatre is very special. It's very. And I keep trying to sneak a peek to see if the Sin family's here. Obviously a film like this cannot be made without the help of and support of so many people. But for us, the most important people to be involved in this was the Sin family. So at the very beginning, it was drawing them into an understanding of what we were trying to achieve with this documentary. It was critical to the success of this film. And so with Sin Chaya, he opened us with welcoming arms, I should say. And the Sin family has been instrumental as a part of this film, both being in the film as well as just supporting us really from the very beginning.
Chris was asked how he found working and filming here in Cambodia.
To do work here in Cambodia since since like 2004, right? In and out doing work in Cambodia, throughout Cambodia and Southeast Asia, but predominantly here. There is no other place, and I have filmed in a lot of places around the globe. There is no other place that draws me in the way that Cambodia does. It is a unique place in which to do something like make and produce a film, especially a documentary film, because what is unique about the Khmer people in terms of working on an art project or a film is they welcome you with open arms. You know, I can't tell you how many times we were in the provinces, Ratanakiri, Kratie, Kompong Thom, Mondulkiri, and people, they would see a camera and they see a barang and they, naturally are interested, what's happening here. And very quickly, people just welcomed us and opened their hearts and opened their minds and told us their stories about Sin Sissamot, why his music was so important to them. And that's been at the heart of this film, right? The legacy of Sin Sissamot's music. So to be able to explore that with Cambodians around the country has just been a pleasure.
EAC also got a chance to interview Joseph Schreier, Resident Coordinator of the United Nations to Cambodia. The UN is also a sponsor of this year's CIF. Mr. Schreier was asked about the relationship between the UN and the Cambodian International Film Festival.
So we have this year decided to contribute to the organization of the film festival. Many of the films shown in festivals such as the Cambodian National Film Festival touch up on the subjects that the United Nations works on together with its partners, primarily, of course, the governments and other partners. So issues related to environment, as we saw this evening at the opening, human rights, gender, any kind of political issues, all are captured in some shape or form in film. And so it's a fantastic medium to stimulate discussion and reflection. I have an opinion about that, but more generally speaking, I think art, culture is what drives a society. It's what keeps us alive. It allows us to think, to reflect, to entertain, to smile, to dream, to cry. It's how we process things, how we document things. And also having come out of the pandemic, I think an event like this brings us back together again in our shared humanity. And so I hope Cambodians will increasingly fall in love with films again, be they documentaries as tonight about the past, but also looking at the audience, so many young filmmakers. So hopefully we're going to see some great filmmakers coming out in the future.
Mr. Schreier was also asked, how has your understanding of the appreciation of the Cambodian culture and its historic music scene evolved over time?
I mean, it certainly has, I would say, significantly increased my appreciation. The first time I visited Cambodia was in '98. And I've always been intrigued, as I say, the golden period of Cambodia, the 60s, the rock and roll. Some of the bands that came on later, like the Cambodian Space Project or Dengue Fever, that was also featured in the movie, that have sort of more popularized some of that style. And so I've always been intrigued. But so little is written about it, so little is seen. And so I think this documentary is a fantastic contribution to keeping not just the history alive, but also the music. And wonderful to do it at a time when a family and his wife are also still able to appreciate it and see it out there.
The Cambodian International Film Festival will be running from June 25th to June 30th. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Rock Money Song.